Psych Perspectives, giofvcks. Let's talk about the unemployment. So, one of my friends had really like put me, like, he broke it down because he had to apply for unemployment like 2-3 weeks ago because his job also pretty much was like, yeah, even though his job is allowing them to work as volunteers, but they don't have health insurance coverage, and they're still eligible to apply for unemployment. And something that my friend brought up that really got me thinking, right? Everyone's always talking about all people want to do is play the system, use the system. They don't want to get jobs. They just want to be sitting up, on the system, blah, blah, blah. But my friend made a really good point. I mean, if you think about it, you got people that with this current unemployment, if they're eligible and they get it and they get accepted, they can be making $600 a week. That's more than what a lot of people are making working 40 hours a week at a lot of these low wage jobs. I'm just being honest. You getting $1,200 every 2 weeks, that's $2,400 a month before taxes. Again, you are making more money on unemployment in this current state. If you're eligible and you get accepted, you can be making more money on unemployment than you can working an actual fucking job. And that says a lot about our low wages. So can you really blame people who would rather collect unemployment while we're in this pandemic than to be sitting up here working a job that already doesn't pay you a living wage, and you still are barely making ends meet, and you're scraping by, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, and you still got to put in 40 plus hours a week, you still got to commute. And then for those of us that are on the front line, the people that are on the front line, not only are they tired and burnt out and not getting paid a living wage, but they're literally risking their lives. So I can't really blame folks who choose to as you say, milk the system, because you're being milked any freaking way. I mean, your job is milking you. Your employer is milking you. The U.S. government, every time they come out with taxes, are milking you. Your federal government, your state government, everybody's being milked. So I can't really blame anybody for taking the easy way out. And if they're eligible, and they get accepted, to collect $1,200 every 2 weeks. Again, people are working 40 plus hours a week and they're not bringing home $1,200 every 2 weeks. So I can't get mad at folks. I really can't get mad. Because I try to kind of feel like, oh yeah, that's wrong. They're milking the system, bro. And I'm like, no. I'm not finna hate on you and judge you on that. It's a lot to be said. I definitely think that we're gonna need more than $1,200 one time. We're gonna need more than that once, because we already are seeing situations where, for example, in Wuhan, China, in the province of China, where, coronavirus first took off, allegedly. They're already they did 2.5 months of quarantining and then let everybody out. With still, wearing masks, washing your hands, disinfect, and yet they've only been out for less than a week. And guess what? Cases are skyrocketing again. They're going up again because they're in phase 2 or stage 2. Because if people would fucking study history repeats itself. When we look at the influenza in 1918, or what is commonly called the Spanish influenza, even though it started off in America in a rural area. But of course, similar to what we're doing with the Wuhan virus, there's a lot of race-based xenophobia and ignorance going on here. But okay, with the influenza in 1918, it came in waves. History repeats itself. It started off and then it kind of dampered out for a few months, and then fall came back and boom, it took people out again. So again, we're sitting up here in America, USA, with President Trump, 45, and his administration literally telling folks, May 1st, we're going back. We're opening America. We're going back. Yet we're literally just watched China, particularly Wuhan, the province in China, shut down for 2.5 months, finally let everybody out of quarantine, and they still had to wear a mask and disinfect and sanitize and be cautious. Haven't been out for a week, and they're already seeing the numbers climb again with cases of coronavirus because it comes in stages. This is going to be here. And if you study the influenza of 1918, it really wasn't until the 20s when things got better. Like literally, it was like 2-3 years after the initial outbreak before things got better. So I'm trying to understand why we think we're about to be out and about in 2.5 weeks. Not even 2.5 weeks. In 2 weeks. It's the 13th. The 1st will be here before you know it. And guess what? The 1st is going to come and there's going to be an additional 30-day quarantine. Because that's another thing that gets on my nerves about us. Instead of just being honest and straight to the point and saying, hey, we're probably going to be in hard quarantines for 3 to 6 months, and there's probably going to be another 2 to 3 years before things can actually be on a calmer, level playing field, health-wise, dealing with corona. Instead of just keeping it honest, we're still sitting up here telling people all of this misinformation. We're literally telling folks, that, May 1st, word on the street, we're going out. And it's just like, what in the hell? Like, again, the misinformation, not using science, not using, medical professionals, epidemiologists, real intelligent folks, and I mean, granted, I'm a left-leaning liberal. But at this point, I can honestly say Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, moderate, centrist, who gives a flying fuck? We're talking about human lives, and I'm more concerned about the well-being of myself, my family, my friends, my community, others, than to be sitting up here talking about, oh, but I'm a donkey and you're an elephant. Well, I'm liberal and you're conservative. Well, I'm libertarian and you're centrist. Who gives a damn? We're talking about lives. This is past politics. This is a humanitarian crisis at this point. This is a public health crisis. This is a pandemic. This is a global pandemic. And we sitting up here, oh, well, I don't agree with you because you voted for, well, I don't agree with you because you want blah, blah, blah. And none of this shit fucking matters. People are dying. And this just goes to show you, again, there are major, and I mean major, discrepancies with our policies, laws, structures, leadership. I mean, this is just a major fail. This is a major fail across the board. And it's scary. It's scary. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's scary. And a lot of us, like I said, we're doing the best we can to cope with whatever mechanisms that we use to cope. Some more positive and healthier than others. Some more negative and detrimental than others, because everyone copes differently. Me personally, I've been smoking again and drinking. And you know, I still try to work out, but I haven't really got back to where I was a month ago. Because it's scary, just being honest.